Hi, Assalamualaikum and good morning you all. How are you guys doing today?
Waalaikumsalam. Good morning, Shinifika and Shini Iman. I'm doing well.
Sure, what would you like to discuss about?
I think it would be helpful if we could work together on the review the documentation and create some internal content questionnaire based on 4 areas that have been abstract from the case. For this internal control questionnaire, at least 20 questions that related.
I have some question about the first area, which is about the inventory order. First of all, is there a policy in place that requires a representative to obtain approval from the purchasing department for order above 30 units? Second, are sales representatives trained to verify the quantity and types of goods received before accepting delivery? Third, is there a system in place to track inventory orders made over the telephone by sales representative? 4. Are there periodic reviews conducted by the purchasing department to ensure that all inventory orders are properly authorized and documented? Lastly, is there a process in place to investigate and resolve any discrepancies between the quantity or type of good ordered and the goods received?
Then, for the second area that involves authorization and processing of supplier invoices, my suggested questionnaire are: first, is there a documented policy or procedure for authorizing supplier invoices before forwarding them to the accounting department? Second, are sales representatives adequately trained in reviewing and authorizing supplier invoices for accuracy and legitimacy? Third, is there a segregation of duties between sales representative and accounting personnel to authorize and record supplier invoices? Fourth, is there a review process in the accounting department to verify the accuracy of supplier invoices? And the last one is there a process to resolve any discrepancies of errors identified during the invoice authorization process?
Wow, that's good. I also have some suggestion about the third areas about the inventory tagging, and there are some questions that I want to know the answer which. First, are the duties assigned with inventory management divided among various people, and does the inventory management process have a system in place to prevent one person from having total control over it?
So, about the last area for warehouse management, I'm certain about something which does the warehouse manager check the source document of inventory transaction with accounting record every 2 months. Second one, this check performed to ensure the accuracy of inventory records and track inventory progression and movement. The third one is a physical count of an inventory conducted manually by all warehouse employees once a month. The second last are the physical counts aimed at verifying the accuracy of inventory records and detecting any discrepancies. And the last one is there a document procedure or instructional document provided to guide warehouse employees during stock count. So, the one is do the warehouse physical access measure prohibit unauthorized entry, and B is there a procedure in place to stop inventory item theft or loss. And C are accurate inventory records maintained by doing routine physical inventory count.
Looks like we have more than enough question about the internal control system. Then I guess we can proceed with the flowchart. I will start first with the sales department, where the sales representative will order new inventory through the telephone and will get approval from the purchase department if the order quantity is more than 30 units, and the sales representative have the responsibility to check in the quantity and the types of goods. Next, what about your opinion in the next method, Junior Rafi?
So, in my point of view from the flowchart, the supplier must have sent invoice to the sales representative before it's sent to the accounting department for entry into the accounting records and subsequent payment, where the warehouse department will check the source using the accounting records once in 2 months.
That's true, and according to the flowchart, all inventory will be tagged that state the part number, description, price, and quantity. I also noticed that the defective good will not be tagged as it will be returned to the vendor within 1 month from the receipt date.
Yes, and based on the flowchart, physical counts are conducted manually once a month by all the warehouse employees, and there is no specific documents prepared for the inventory counts. Also, we have been informed that there are sufficient number of employees.
So now, let's move on to the objective internal control system of the company. First of all, as we can look, that from the ordering and receiving control, the control objective should be to ensure that all orders are authorized by the purchasing department irrespective of the quantity order, and that the sales representative are responsible only for checking the quantity and type of good received. Next, based on the authorization control, another objective is to ensure that invoices are authorized by sales representative before being forwarded to the accounting department. So far, did you guys found another objective for this company internal control system?
Yes, Senior Shafika. If you look at the inventory tagging and defective goods control, this company want to ensure that all inventory is tagged according to the types of good, excluding defective items, because that defective item will return to the vendors within 1 month from the receipt date. This is also one of the objective of the internal control.
Oh, that's good. Anything from junior auditor?
Oh yes, we have another objective from inventory counting controls. The control objectives are to ensure that physical counts are conducted manually once a month by all warehouse employees, and that specific instructional documents are prepared for the stock counts.
Wow, nice job, Junior Yamai. So overall, the implementation of internal control system in the company seems to be weak in terms of control related to defective good and inventory counting. However, with a sufficient number of employees in the company, effective control can be put in place to address this weakness.
Yep, I agree with you. So, how about their control activities?
So, based on inventory ordering and receiving, Young Forever Sdn Bhd has implemented the following control activities, which are the sales representative directly order new inventory over the telephone. Approval by the purchasing department is required only for orders above 50 units. Acting as a control, they should and the sales representative have the responsibility to check the quantity and type of goods received.
Oh, I see. So how about the account payable and payment processing?
Oh, for this control, the company has implemented these following control activities. Invoice from suppliers are sent to the sales representative for authorization. Authorized invoices are then forwarded to the accounting department for entry into the accounting records and subsequent payment.
In addition, with inventory tagging and defective goods handling, Yan Sendirian Berhad has implemented all inventory items are tagged with relevant information such as part number, description, price and quantity. However, defective goods are not tagged to avoid misidentification. Instead, they are returned to vendors within 1 month from the receipt date. Lastly, based on inventory reconciliation and physical counts control, the company has implemented the warehouse manager conducts regular checks of the source documents of inventory against the accounting records to ensure accuracy, inventory progression and movement.
I see. All these control activity have established a system of checks and balance within Young Forever Sdn Bhd's internal control system to mitigate risk, ensure accuracy, and maintain proper inventory control. Okay, thanks for the explanation, Junior Auditor Rafi and Junior Auditor Alia.
Wow, that's great, everyone. I think we can move on to the perform test control. First of all, what I can see, computer information system has increased the efficiency and productivity of its business unit by automating various tasks within industrial control system. This has resulted in faster turnaround times, fewer errors, and improved overall operational performance. Computer information system also has provide real-time data and analytics to drive better decision-making within the organization.
Not only that, the impact of computer information system (CIS) on industry control system (ICS) is having a significant impact on business. The interaction of these two areas has revolutionized the way company operate and manage process.
Oh, so in summary, the impact of computer information system on enterprise industrial control system has been transformative, from improving efficiency and productivity to enabling better decision making and enhancing security. Computer information system has become an essential tool for businesses.
Yes, that's true, Junior Alia. Now, based on our case, we must clear about the material weakness because it will affect the decision of user of financial statements.
Of course, as auditor, that is our planning procedure to make sure about our audit timing. So, first material weakness are there is no documentation, approval process for inventory purchases and only authorized personnel are not clearly defined. This may result in unauthorized purchases or incorrect inventory level. So my recommendation is the company should establish a clear approval process for inventory purchases and clearly define who is authorized to approve them.
Besides, the material weakness are defective goods are not tagged, which may result in confusion and misidentification of inventory items. Additionally, there is no process in place to ensure that defective items are returned to vendors within 1 month of receiving them. This may lead to inaccurate inventory records, resulting in incorrect financial statements and potential losses for the company. As a recommendation, the company should implement a process to tag defective goods and ensure they are separated from non-defective goods. Additionally, they should establish a clear process for returning defective items to vendors within 1 month of receiving them.
Next, in segregation of duties area, the responsibility for inventory management are not separate among different individuals, and there is no system in place to prevent one individual from having complete control over the inventory management process. This may result in errors for fraud in inventory management, so the company should separate their responsibility for inventory management among different individuals and implement a system of checks and balance to prevent any one individual from having complete control over the process.
Last but not least, at physical control area, there is no documented system in place to prevent theft or loss of inventory item, and regular physical inventory count are conducted without specific instruction document.
And that may result in inaccurate inventory records and potential loss for the company.
Yes, obviously.
That means the company should implement a system to prevent theft or loss of inventory items, such as physical access control or security cameras. They should also create a clear instruction and document for conducting physical inventory counts to ensure accuracy and consistency. So that's how we discuss about it. Later, Junior Alia and Junior Rafi write a management letter recommendation, okay?
Okay, noted.
Okay, noted.
So as for now, the conclusion is that the company, Young Forever Berhad, has several weaknesses in its internal control system. This weakness could impact the accuracy and reliability of the company's financial statement. Therefore, it is recommended that the company strengthen its internal control system by implementing proper segregation of duties, increasing oversight, and monitoring of inventory processes, and developing clear guidelines for stock counts.
By addressing these weaknesses, the company can be better manage its risk and protect its stakeholder value. The audit term should continue to monitor the company's internal control system during the final audit to ensure that these recommendations have been implemented effectively.